Welcome back to the Raw Perspective, where I just get things off my mind. Today, I want to talk about self respect and its relationship with self esteem, and go into a little bit of how these things are directly affected by your value system. Well, I think, as we have previously discussed, respect is that boundary that separates our good behaviors and our bad behaviors, things that we accept and things that we do not accept. Self respect is that boundary that you place on the things that you will allow yourself to do to meet your goals and the things that you will not allow yourself to do in order to meet your goals. The things that you will allow other people to do to you, and the things that you will not allow other people to do to you. This is the borderline. This is self respect. How we teach, teach each other how to deal with each other. How we teach each other what is acceptable to us. With a healthy dose of self respect, you will let people know that you don't appreciate their behaviors that you view to be negative. Without a healthy dose of self respect, you will allow people to get away with just about anything. Any way they want to treat you, you will let them get away with it, which can be quite troublesome, which can lead you into situations where you will end up being not only abused, but repeatedly abused. This is very important to understand why it's important to have a healthy dose of self respect, because it keeps people from hurting us, from getting to us, getting inside our brains, getting into our psyches, messing with our thoughts, and overall controlling us, overall manipulating us. Right? Well, I mean, because not so much controlling, but being able to manipulate you into doing things that you otherwise, according to your morality and your value system, would not otherwise be doing. Right? And once again, this is dealing with values, values. These things, these ideas, like self-respect, self-esteem, are heavily based upon our value system. Without a good, healthy value system, a value system that is going to get us the things that we need in our everyday lives to go about doing our daily tasks. with a good strong value system, you can build a good strong self-esteem, and you can build a good strong sense of self-respect. Now, how does self-esteem come into this? Self-esteem comes into this because when you have a good strong value system, you understand that you are a part of that value system. In other words, you value yourself. You value what you can do. You value what you bring to the table. You value what you represent in not only your life, but the lives of the ones of the people around you that you interact with on a regular basis, on a daily basis. When you are able to value and or appreciate what you offer as a human being, you are better equipped to evaluate what other people should be bringing to the table. In other words, if I can bring a loaf of bread to the table, you can bring a stick of butter. What I bring to the table may not be the same thing that you bring, but it should have the same amount of value or a similar enough amount of value that we can do a back and forth exchange, right? This is the whole point of value. It's something that you can use, that you give something in order to get something, right? So when you have that good, healthy value system, that is your number one go-to tool in order to evaluate what is going to get you to your goals and what is not. What is an asset to you and what is a liability? What is going to be efficient and what is going to be a waste of time? If you don't understand what is valuable, what is something that is useful, what is something that is useless, then you do all sorts of crazy things like, I don't know, spending $100 million on a cracker. Sounds silly. But if you don't have a value system to evaluate things properly, you get into all sorts of trouble. And of course, as ridiculous as that notion is, you can think of many real life situations that people can run into any and every day where this value system not being properly aligned would get you into trouble. Mainly in relationships. Why would somebody who has a good job and a great career mind and is active in their community and charitable find themselves in a situation where they're dating somebody who is lazy, doesn't have a job, has no life goals, no vision for themselves, no tangibles to offer, and doesn't necessarily treat this person quite well. No decency, no courtesy. Why would two people be able to get into a sort of a relationship like that? Well, it's because somebody doesn't have a good self-esteem. Somebody doesn't value themselves enough to say, hey, this person doesn't treat me right. They aren't doing anything for me. And I'm giving them my time and energy because I don't value my time and energy properly. I was not given the tools to evaluate and appreciate the things that I have to offer. This is why self-esteem is tremendously important. Self-respect, once again, tremendously important. Saying, hey, I'm not going to put up with this bad behavior. I'm not going to put up with you belittling me, low rating me. I'm not going to put up with you wasting your days sitting on the couch doing nothing, right? So, self-respect. self-esteem, values, a good, healthy value system. So, we'll get into more of these, more of this topic, but now continue to talk about these things. I think I'll start a common sense uh, playlist here. Things that everybody should know, but very few people are actually teaching. Right? We have these notions of these things, but we don't really get how they work and where they intertwine. Where I find it, you know, I find it ridiculous when people say things like, "Oh, I don't have an attitude." Well, truth is, everyone has an attitude. An attitude is a disposition. It's a way that you view things. It's a way that you lean towards things, whether you think they're good or bad, or would you go for it? It's an attitude that you're expressing, and it's not always just expressed in the way that you talk. It's also something that you express physically. When you lean into someone, when you're having a conversation, you're expressing an attitude. When you lean away from somebody, you're expressing an attitude. So it's hilarious to me when people say that I don't have an attitude. Well, in fact, you do. So, just trying to start this series to talk about these things, get them out there, get us back to a point where there's common sense running around commonly in the USA. Because common sense doesn't seem to be common anymore. So, with that, I will end this video, and maybe we'll talk about these value systems a little more in another video. You can forget about the likes, share, and subscribe. Just give me your thoughts on these things. Give me your thoughts on what's your perspective? Do you think people understand these things as well as they think they do? Do you think that we have gotten away from these common sense things? Let me know what you think. As always, this is the raw perspective.